Good evening. It is Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. The time is 7:39 p.m. We now call to order the Historic Town of Eatonville Town Council meeting. Ms. King, we verify for lunch.
Yes, Councilwoman Randolph here. Councilman Matt here. Councilwoman Joy here. Councilwoman Thomas here. Mayor Critton present. We have a quorum.
All right, let us now stand for moment of silence and the pledge of allegiance. The pledge of allegiance. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We now are ready for the approval of the agenda. Before we approve, let us make and agree upon the necessary adjustments between item number 4 and item number 5. That would be citizen participation and the consent agenda. We will add in the second presentation from workshop for the department heads. Between item number 4 of the consent agenda and council decisions, we will add item number 3 from the workshop, which is the discussion of the scholarship program. And then in council decisions, we will move item number 7 to item number 5, subsequently moving items number 5 and 6 to items number 6 and 7. Did we catch all of the amendments? You want me to go back? Okay. So between citizen participation and the consent agenda, we will make space for the department head presentation. And then if we scroll down to item number 4 in the consent agenda, behind that, not a part of the consent agenda, we will make space for the scholarship discussion. And then in council decisions, we have 3 items. Item number 7, we are moving to item number 5, thereby moving items 5 and 6 down to items 6 and 7. Everybody got everything?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, that's one point.
Since the citizens' participation for the workshop didn't happen, I was asked the question during the break about whether those who were signed up for that session and this session will get extra time. It's not my call. I'm letting you know that that question's asked.
I will make a concession if this board agrees with it to add an additional 2 minutes to anyone who was signed up for both. If this board is in agreement with it. Yes. Do we have any opposition? Yes, Councilman.
I would have a question move the scholarship down to a council's decision.
It's just a discussion. Yes, ma'am. I believe there's a presentation or a packet in your.
Yes. Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. We have the amendments to the agenda. Do we have a motion for approval?
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor say aye. Aye. The agenda has been approved. We are ready for citizen participation.
We have NY Theory. If you can come to the podium.
Good evening, Mayor, councilors, and audience participants. I'm here on behalf of the Association to Preserve the Eatonville Community to bring a formal notice for the record that on April 1, the Southern Part of the Law Center filed a lawsuit against the Orange County School Board to protect historic Black municipality in Florida. There is a press release that Matt Clerk has distributed to town council members and attorney and staff, and has present for those who are interested. On Saturday, the 18th of April, from 12 noon to 2, we're asking Eatonville citizens to join us for lunch, soup, sandwich, cookie, iced tea, to hear presentation by the Southern Part of Law Center attorneys, so that you can hear the the allegations in the complaint or injunctive relief and declaratory judgment. At this point, we will be sending out a flyer because the location of the presentation, the town hall, is still not determined. There is a funeral and repast in Macedonia. The food will still be done by Robin Cuppy and her team, but in terms of trying to have a place where we can have the town hall in Eatonville is still to be determined. We may actually need to do it in May.
What was the date?
The 18th, next Saturday, not this Saturday, but the next Saturday, 12 to 2. It will be your opportunity to hear from the attorneys, the nature of the lawsuit, and to make comments or ask questions.
Joyce Harvey, and she requested your comments at both 6:30 and 7:30, so you will have a total of 5 minutes.
Again, she's not here, but I want to work on it. I'll ask myself what she wants from this lawsuit. I know originally when we were talking about the town being in charge, she wanted to have 25 of the acres for herself to do a project. I thought that was too much, but I don't understand what the end game is for this lawsuit. Greg versus Cliff. When Greg was here talking for 2 hours and making my brain numb and calling me a liar because I said that this stuff with Mike has gone on since 1994, documented in print. He said that's not true. But if you ask Mike if he's a town employee, he says, I answer to no one, that's not true. And if you keep lying over and over again, some people believe it. And that's the problem. The facts have been the facts since day one. Evidently, our brains are also numb because we cannot read what has been in print since the beginning of time here. If he's not a town employee, he's lying and committing fraud with the IRS. So he can pick one. I came in here and wondered what happened to the mayor who came from a meeting that Michelle Ford and I were at. And I come to find out that she was stopped on the sidewalk by Mike Johnson, questioning her about why she went to the bank, telling her she has no right to look at the CRA accounts. Thank y'all for leaving us with this. That's all I'm going to say about it. Ryan was there for part of it and witnessed it. There is a person who is completely rogue who says he works for no one. He answers to no one. How are you going to tell the mayor she can't go to the bank? Ryan can't get a statement. Angela Johnson comes in here for 2 years asking questions about the accounting of the CRA and can get nothing. I think that's illegal. And it's ridiculous. And when Greg was in here impugning Cliff's reputation and talking about Mike like the new baby Jesus, I didn't hear anybody but me say, why isn't Cliff here? If somebody lies to you over and over again, and you read, he is a town employee, and you hear, but he's not a town employee because it's Sunday and it's 2:00. If you believe it, that's on you. It's not a fact. It's intentionally confusing. It is ridiculous. We spend more time talking about this one person creating issues. It doesn't make any sense. And we just are, we're all in the matrix. I'm in the matrix right now, that's what I'm talking about. But I'm incensed at I can't even think of a nice word, so I would say the lack of mental acumen to appropriately deal with the fact. I mean,
We have Michelle Ford, who also had citizen participation for both. And we'll give you 5 minutes.
Happy Tuesday, Mayor and Council Women. I'm very disappointed with the CRA board and also with this council. Because we have allowed Mr. Johnson to become the CRA mayor. And then we have allowed him to use the CRA attorney as his personal attorney. Myself and Joyce was in here. Not once did the board member ever question, why did he not go see Ms. Gardner? I don't know about anybody in this room, but if my boss tells me to come into their office to see them and I don't go, Mr. Matt, can you tell your supervisor I'm not coming to see you today? And just avoid them?
Can't tell my manager that, call me supervisor, I definitely can't tell my
Well,
manager.
okay, so then why didn't we let Mr. Johnson do that? Ms. Gardner
I wasn't
came up
aware of
here. You were aware because Ms. Gardner came up here and said, there was conversation and email she pointed out, which I will tell you, look at the last meeting. Where she said that Attorney Jackson, she reached out to him. That's where I feel we need two citizens. We got to get Mr. Jackson off of this TRA. He is not a good attorney. He advised you guys to come in and hire him when it wasn't even legal. And you guys came and did it. Nobody ran anything. If you would have took the time to say, HR director, let me look at his paperwork, which that was confusing to me, Tars. One minute you acknowledge he's a town employee, and then the next minute you like the CRA board. He's a town employee. And the records show that. So respect what the charter said and what the policy says and do it. This is the only municipality we do everything except for the policy. We don't even give the citizens public records. That's right down there. Because I'm asking what he charged on public funds. And I email each and every one of you. Nobody responded. Is he over y'all too? Because that's what it seems like. I don't know how you can condone being disrespectful to your supervisor, to the council, and to the citizens most of all, because you want to protect them from what? What if we find out those charges are fraud? They were personal use. What are you going to do then? Protect them from that? That's not fair. Let him do what he wants with your personal credit card. Let him disrespect you as your employee, but not to the citizens. And I thank you for what you said. Because Mr. Jackson went all around the circle. He danced all around the statue. And I have seen him just as the board has. CRA meeting, he directs the board. When someone, Ms. Gardner say something, or Ms. Randolph will say something, he gets up out of his chair and walks to council. Who does that? I'm sorry, the CRA mayor. He does that. So when is this council is going to start being the council or stop being Mr. Johnson's do people? Do what's right. That's all we're asking you. Show up for the job. Read your packet. And if you don't know, do like I do. Google is a girl's best friend. To show you everything you want. But you showed us y'all didn't take the time for the residents to actually read. And when I reach out to you guys, oh yeah, we'll do it. When? This is what happens when we have unchecked power. Look who we got as the president. Hello? So are we going to actually do something? Or are we going to talk about doing something? Or are we going to wait till Mr. Johnson go get his personal attorney? Which, by the way, when he called Greg about his employment issues, that was an employment issue. That was not a CRA. So when Greg said that $10,000 bill, y'all need to put that out of his paycheck. Because that had nothing to do with the public. That had something to do with his personal matter. And going forward, don't do that no more to us. Let him get an attorney, you fight it out. Y'all did a lot of lawsuits before. What makes him different now? Because he's the mayor of the CRA? So can we get that in check? Can we read what the bylaws say and actually act on them? Because that's what we voted you in here. Democracy. Work with us. But don't let him do what he want to do. Because what he's going to do is show us that you're not here for us. You're here for him. Thank you for your time.
That was our last one.
All right, we are ready for the presentations by department head. CL.
Probably Public Works.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, residents, guests. My name's Valerie Monty, Public Works Director. And just a brief overview of what we've been doing. The engineering plans for the water and sewer program are at the 6% mark and they're moving to 90%. On the next workshop, we will be presenting, this is April 21st. We'll be presenting the work that's been done so far. So the consultants will talk about the neighborhoods that are being worked on, the water treatment plant and everything else we're working on in terms of construction. Our bidding for the project will begin in July and construction is planned to be started in October of 2026. That's within within 6 months from now. So things are moving pretty fast. We will have an industry day and a community engagement on May the 18th. And we'll have to probably schedule that for the Dent Johnson building to be able to have enough room for the primes and the community to get involved in what construction opportunities there are. Second item is the county, Orange County has executed the Catalina Stormwater project grant. So we are now moving forward. The National Park Service graced us with a visit 2 weeks ago, and many of us really enjoyed the opportunity of understanding what their trail systems are going to be looking like and what they do around the country with the trail systems. They've committed to perform a preliminary concept design for the county and park and the property that we'll be acquiring across the street. Right now, we're in the appraisal stage for that property, and once the appraisals come in, we'll be moving towards acquisition of that property. Item number 3, we've passed various inspections of our buildings, including fire and FDEP approval of the status of the existing water treatment plant. Right now, we're working closely with Host Dime to ascertain a clear picture of what their future water usage is. And so we're waiting to get understanding from Manny Vivar on what their intents are, not just from the people load, but from the industrial load of their chillers. That's very important to us in understanding what a clear picture on what future water usage they're going to have. Right now, we're reconciling department budget issues and confirming additional funding for the new water treatment plant. We met with FDEP today, and they approved a path for us to get additional funds where we need to deal with escalation of construction costs and the like. So they're willing and they're committed to providing us the funding that we need so we don't have any overages that we can't deal with. Right now, we're also doing our annual hydrant flow tests, and you'll see us around town just checking and making sure we have sufficient flow for our neighborhoods. We're also purchasing an additional program to control our assets and our work orders and improve our workflow in the office. 2 weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago, a directional driller, this is the fiber companies, they hit a existing sewer force main at Deacon Jones and Kennedy Boulevard. This has been an ongoing problem that we've had. We were able to solve that problem right away, but it's very expensive. And so we're seeking out who is the organization that is responsible for that work. And the last thing we'd like to talk about is we're working with Attorney Shepard right now on the ongoing discussion with Winter Park about the proposal for the Rabadage force main coming down Kennedy. And Mr. Shepard can elaborate on his position and what he's concepts that he's talked to Winter Park about and Ken.
Yes, ma'am. So as you will recall, the last time this came up in a public meeting, I was asked where do we start, and I had at that time just seen a I think it's a best characterized for like memo from Orange County, their environmental coordinator, it is something planner and environmental coordinator, saying that this project's coming through town. It's gonna do all these great, wonderful things, and wanted to know, what we needed to tell them to be concerned about. And my response then, and it has remained the same, is, well, first, what gives them the right to come through town? Which means, as a simple lawyer way to put it is, do you have a right of way? Do you have an easement? What gives you the right to come in and just say, hey, Eatonville, we're coming? And so I thought it was a pretty straightforward question. It seemed, I put it simply, I think Ms. Mundy can agree that I put it simply, I wrote back to the person who sent the memo. I said, can you just tell me what is your basis for being able to use town property? That created quite a stir. And they decided all of a sudden they needed a meeting when I was out of town, and said, well, I can't be at that meeting, but it's really not meetings required. Just tell me how it is you get to come through the town and do this project. Dig up roads, inconvenience a lot of people, risk breaking water mains. We've had that problem before, and other things. And eventually I got a response now from Winter Park. And he essentially, that gentleman asked me the same questions. Well, what is your issue? Can you tell me what your issue is? And I said, yeah, how is it that you get to come through town and lay this pipe and do this project? What is the basis? Do you have an easement? Have a right of way? Today, was it today or yesterday?
It was, well, yesterday.
Yesterday, the city manager of Winter Park, Mr. Knight, responded to my question, and I know Randy for quite a while. And he said that there was Winter Park tends to use the right of way of Orange County. Okay, well, that answers part of the question, except that I have not seen any documents establishing what the county's right of way is. So my question that follows that one is, okay, if it's the county's right of way, who gives the city permission to use it? And can the county have under its own authority the opportunity to let somebody else use the right of way? If I have an easement to your property, I can't tell Mrs. King she can use it unless the easement specifically says so. And so that's the next question to be answered. And again, this is not trick stuff. This is pretty straightforward because, as I was explaining this Monday, before you go spending money and lots of money designing a project, the basic question is, do I have a right to put it there? If I don't have an ownership interest or some sort of an interest that allows me to put it there, then we have to talk about things like condemnation, and that's expensive and so forth. And this is, and again, no intention to be difficult here. It was simply to get an answer so we could get past that and say, okay, if we're going to have to live with this, which I'm still not convinced, but maybe we will. I don't know yet. As I said, I keep my open mind until I see the evidence. Then there will be things additional to talk about, like how are we going to do this where it's least stressful for the residents? How are we going to address the issue of immediate need for repair if we have another water main break so people aren't boiling water for a week? And those kinds of things that would be natural concerns. How long is this thing going to take? Are we talking 3 months, 6 months, a year? I don't know. But I do know that public works projects aren't known for going speedily. And so that's the conversation. So I responded back to Mr. Knight when he said, this is our basis. I responded back to him, okay, well, that's what I was trying to figure out. But can you give me the information, give me the documents or whatever you're relying on so I can see for myself, where the Orange County can simply say to a wholly other jurisdiction, oh, come on, you can use it, no problem. Because again, there are more questions. Are they going to be wholly self-contained on Orange County's right of way, or will vehicles be on our property where they have to park, have their workers? Will they be able to do everything they need to do on their property and none of it on the town property? I kind of doubt that, but that's where we're headed.
So, yes, and just to answer that, Orange County CDBG gave them funding or have authorized funding, and they're waiting for our answer in order to move forward with the county commission approving it. So that's the ongoing saga. And that's any questions, that's the extent of the report.
I have a question. Have we had revisited this before, whether or not any of our projects that we already have, will it interfere or will they interfere with any projects that we have as far as the road project that you have on the water?
Well, it has to be well coordinated. The plans that they did, or they had done probably 4 years ago or so, did not incorporate any of the work that we're gonna do, because obviously we're just still doing it right now. So it has to be well coordinated. That's one of the first things that has to happen. Maybe we can coordinate it enough that we work well together and make it happen. But we need to get some of the early questions resolved. The question about who's going to be the first responder when there's a force main break for typically it will be the town. Typically, it's the police department lets us know something's out there, the town responds. And we have to figure out if it's 2 a.m, what cost comes on us, what kind of warranties, what kind of bonds do we need to have? There's a lot of those issues that have to be worked out if they get past the first step. So, but it will be a burden on the town. So we just have to see how we need to handle it.
Is there a deadline when this is supposed to start?
I'm unaware of one except for the deadline to get the money. And that seems to be, instead of asking these questions, what seems to be driving the bus on their end is, we need to do this so we can get the money. Because that's why CDBG, I think, is waiting to hear back from us on our position, and I can't even answer the question until I figure out whether they have a right to be here. Now, one thing I admitted to answer, but I did discuss with Ms. Monday, is she told me that they were going to install the pipes and whatnot with the directional boring. And I happen to represent one of the biggest directional boring companies in the United States. It's Denali Construction, have represented them for over 30 years. If you don't know what directional boring is, you start at point A with a little, I'll call it a worm. It goes down this way, and then somebody literally sort of like a joystick or steering wheel steers it underground and to where it's supposed to go with supposedly minimal disruption. But what the directional board operator can't see is what's under that ground. They have locates where people put in stripes, yellow means one thing, blue means another, red means another. And he's supposed to be coordinating that. And they also can use ground penetrating radar, but that drill bore is indiscriminate. If it hits a gas line or a water line or a sewer line, it's going to chew right through it. So it's very much operator dependent, and the operator's ability depends on what information he or she has. And that's a problem in Eatonville in specific, because we don't have the best information about utilities that have been buried for decades. And so that's why it's right to anticipate that there will be problems despite Ms. Monday and everyone else's best efforts. And that's why this information is important. But at least if they use a directional bore, it's not like they're going to be ripping down the sidewalk or ripping down the highway. But at any moment, if he zigs when he should zag, the board can come right up through the pavement or the sidewalk or whatever, because that's how they work.
And so Councilwoman asked your question. I did tell Ms. Monday, if they go back to the traditional way that they initially planned on doing it, if possible, we do need to coordinate with them. If we do allow them to come through and do this aspect, because then they can help offset some of the costs. Because we already got to tell the road to put new pipes in for water and all those things. So if we coordinate together, it will reduce down our costs and all those things as well. And this has been going on roughly since 2023.
And we are coordinating very closely with City of Maitland, because they're going through the same thing. They're coming, a portion of this, it starts on Monroe by the new Lifetime building. It starts there, the lift station. The force main is cutting through the townhome community in Maitland, and it lands on Lake Avenue, and then it's going west to the Eatonville town limits, and then they want to continue straight down Kennedy to meet up at. So we're working with Maitland. They're coming up with some hefty bond requirements for Winter Park, and so I'm hoping that we can match or exceed what Maitland has as well.
That'll be extra revenue. Thanks.
Do we know if there are any other collaborative projects that are currently happening with the city of Winter Park in the town of Eatonville? Like, is there anywhere else where they have something of this nature or any kind of underground infrastructure?
I don't know of anything this nature, but they are doing the safe routes to school sidewalk, a 5-foot sidewalk.
They're doing that?
They're doing that, and that's going to be starting soon. They've got their contractor getting ready to go into construction. That's putting 5-foot sidewalks starting on Monroe and ending at Hungerford Elementary School, and then they're bringing the 5-foot sidewalks up to Kennedy, right in front of Town Hall with new beacons. So that's a project they just voted on, and it's funded by FDOT. but I don't know of any other underground utility projects.
I do have a question that I've had, residents ask me in terms of the potholes in town. How do we report those and how can we get some resolution? I do know that there's one on Gabriel and, Bel Air, that will tear your whole car up by driving the speed bumps too. Yeah.
What we're finding is consistently, there are potholes due to the trucks that are coming into Family Dollar. If you notice that they're all in the same area, many of the potholes, we have it on our radar to cut open the potholes and fix the ones that, everything on Gabriel, even from Kennedy, there are a series of potholes, and those semi trucks are doing a lot of damage to our road. They're running on top of the median where the streets there, they've destroyed a lot of, done some damage. But we will be going back and I will get that scheduled within the next week to cut that out and repair the streets. But I'm hoping in the big picture that we will have the funding to go ahead with the infrastructure work and resurface a good portion of our roads, in addition to because many of our roads have a very thin layer of asphalt on them.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Is it the material that we're using, when we're doing the repairs or, like what is it? Just because of, based on what you said,
Well,
because.
when was the last time it was resurfaced proper way?
Right.
I don't recall any resurfacing, but I will make sure that we have enough thickness in those areas that we're cutting out. But that means that still the rest of the roadway is a thin thickness, and it's time for resurfacing.
And can we get somebody, cause I do know that there's a huge one right now on Bel Air and Gabriel. I don't know if we need to go and put a, what do you call those things, a cone or something, a barrier, or, cause, I don't have a lot of money, I get paid up here, so much, but hey, that, right, in terms of getting your cars repaired, my whole car, man.
That's priority one. We'll get on that tomorrow.
I appreciate it, no worries, Ryan.
If I can really speak on the behalf of the winter park, I'm all about collaborating with, our neighboring cities, of course, but doing infrastructure and things of that nature right there. But I think we gotta be very careful on, what we allow coming through here also, because we don't have the strongest infrastructure, for one. And then a lot of things that bothers me, not saying that it ever happened, is, annexation is real, and I just wanna make sure that we're down our I's and crossing our T's in every event moving forward about anything that's coming through the town, because it kind of baffles me in a sense. I'm trying to wrap my head around why this way to Eatonville. I'm still trying to understand the basis of why they want to come through.
Well, explain it, Ms. Money, because it's only coming the east side from 1792 to the intersection of Wymore. They're already down the rest of Kennedy already. So it's only from this, it's the conversation we have with CPH is 3/4 of
But it's not causing any distractions or interruptions, correct?
the other part. So they're trying to connect into the other part because all of our water, or all of our sewer goes to Altamont. And it all turns down Keller Road and it connects down in the water treatment plant now.
How's that gonna benefit us as a town? Like, will we get some kind of incentive or something to help us?
That'd be on the attorney dealing with, but I mean, you're looking at utilities, so that's a whole nother.
The answer was, it is, frankly, if they get past how do we, is it that we're allowed to do this? That's when we were going to get down to brass tacks in terms of a negotiation of things that we as a town need in order to protect ourselves as best we can. There's zero chance, if I assume in their favor that they have a right to put their utilities in the way they wish to, there's zero chance we won't suffer some level of disruption. I don't know the level yet because I'm not a crystal ball reader, but we know what's happened when other utilities, other vendors have been there and they've broken our lines and caused boil water alerts and caused us to run around even prior to Miss Monday trying to figure out how we're going to solve the problem on limited funds and also get it done quickly. So one of the things, for example, we would negotiate with them is, okay, what is going to be your policy if a road break is reported at 3 o'clock in the morning, so Miss Monday doesn't have to get up out of bed, where y'all are going to get out there and fix that kind of thing. And what is the timetable for doing that? And things of that. All of those discussions assume, however, they have a right to put it there. And that's why that discussion important, because if they don't have a right to put it there, our negotiating power goes way up.
And I think that's one of the most important things that we gotta be mindful of also, because it's gotta be some kind of incentive, especially coming through our community, because we already have gripes and moan about having parade days and Zorro festivals, things of that nature. And this right here, I don't know the magnitude of what this could possibly bring that could really throw our drivers off, our residents off, but you know, being able to get to their homes properly and things of that nature right there. So we definitely gotta be mindful of every move and being very strategic on how we do it also. And like I said before, I want to be able to, you know, help our neighboring be able to partner with our neighboring cities, but you know, with expertise of you and Attorney Shepherd, we gotta make sure that we're doing this thing right, you know, before, you know, doing any approval of anything. And we definitely gotta have some sit-down discussions and have more engagement before moving forward with doing anything and doing studies on it also. Like, has this ever been done in other cities? You know what I'm saying? That could possibly, like Attorney Shepherd said, take the right of way away from the town. That's our side, right? So you say you're only using the county side, which is gonna be kind of hard to do in a sense, because it's gonna rely on you doing a lot of, you know, other things that could possibly be harmful to our community as well. So let's just make sure we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's.
And as I mentioned, we repaired a force main 3 weeks ago at Deacon Jones, and it's very possible that could have been another agency's force main. Hypothetically, if there's another force main coming down Kennedy, we could be responsible, and we have to respond immediately. So whether they supply a person, I have no idea how we get this resolved, but it's a burden. It will be a burden on the town.
That's what I'm trying to eliminate, because, you know, we already got only 1.7 miles, and, you know, we already having a lot of traffic come through anyway. It's already kind of destroying our infrastructure as a whole already. And, you know, speaking of infrastructure, we need infrastructure work done ourselves along with the pipes. And then, you know, God forbid they hit these main lines, even if they are paying the expense of it, it's still gonna inconvenience our citizens. You know what I'm saying? So that's my main concern on the inconvenience to our citizens, you know. So those are things that I'm dear and hard and concerned about. You know, I'm very concerned about it. Even when I first heard of it, it kind of, you know, rose a red flag to me, like, man, I don't know, you know. And I would definitely like to get a little bit more you know, knowledge from people that have experienced this. And I know you're gonna reach out to the right people in order to, you know, make sure that we're going down the right path. Also, before bringing it to us for approval, if this is something that does happen to come across us. So,
Right, and it stands as a collaborative effort that we can all work together and try to make this move forward, but it's gonna take work.
Yeah.
I don't have anything, any other questions?
Gibson?
Thank you, Ms. Lundy.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and residents. Before I start, I want to say, congratulations to everybody. And this is history. This is the first time we have had all the women's on council. Wait a minute, no, I'm saying the majority, I'm sorry. That's Well, I got. The first time we have had 4 women on council at one time. It always been one female. So congratulations. Oh, yeah.
I'll finish it.
Fifth mayor. So this be my 5th mayor. For business. Finance department in the next 90 days, we'll be putting together for the new council people for y'all books for the budget. We'll be at now and going into the new process of the new fiscal year. We'll be looking at the how to strengthen our revenue. We're gonna learn how to do a different thing to engage the town council and the citizens. We're doing a little different process with the budget. We'll be bringing some information within the 90 days. We're gonna be looking at economic risk, inflation, and slowing growth. We don't know what's going up in Tallahassee may affect that budget. And we're gonna be bringing some new software to engage the community, and that's it.
I do.
I think
Yeah.
We got questions.
Quick, she got up.
Yes, I do.
Some of y'all gonna go to work in the morning stuff.
Yeah.
So my only question is, where are we at on getting this water thing straight as to what's gonna be reimbursed versus are we keeping this same thing? Because if we got new residents coming in, how are you billing them on the old or the new incorrect system?
Well, it's the correct system, just that the resolution, with the ordinance say 1,000, we doing it per 1,000. And we did speak with the people that did the water rate study. And again,
Do you have an E EPA?
you know, but looking at it, it may just so remain. So I don't want to say that it just makes, to me, and listening to them, it's probably gonna remain.
Okay.
Because it wasn't really an error.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Chief. Good evening. Madam Council, residents. Just a quick update here. We're currently continuing to have a year-to-date, drop in our crime and cost of service with our jurisdiction. We're in the process of salvaging, two, inoperable vehicles, but we will be replacing those vehicles, with a cost of about $23,000. So I think we find a really good deal on some of those vehicles. We completed an evidence audit. A lot of items, a lot of them were predated, so we're in the midst of that, as well as passing a criminal justice information systems audit. We passed that with flying colors with FDLE. So we continue to move forward with that. So we'll be going into a records audit so that I can do a purge of a lot of those outdated items. Some of those things were found almost in the 90s of items. So the ones that are purgeable, we're going to go ahead and purge those, but they have to match the records before we can purge them out. We're collaborating with Parks and Rec for a summer program that we'll be trying to post. Some of that time will be down at the new Huddle building. Our community service officer, Officer Holmes, will be helping to orchestrate a lot of that. She's young, she's got a lot of vigor, speed. I'm old, so we want to get somebody that's really community oriented and loves that. So that she definitely enjoys that. So she'll be doing a lot of that. We're currently attending pre-hurricane trainings at the Orange County Emergency Management. We're also preparing a collaboration with the annual Councilman Max annual cleanup. We'll have code enforcement involved a lot in this one. And that's what's going to be happening, residents, is we'll be going around in the month of June. Anything that you have that may be like on the side of your house or something in the backyard that could become a missile if a hurricane came, we're going to actually, with waste management coming around on that day, you'll be able to get rid of all of that. I think that's the plan. Yeah, that's always the plan. And I appreciate it. We'll be bringing that again in June. We continue to have municipality meetings. All the chiefs come together once a month. We meet and connect. We also have joint meetings with the FBI as well. I'm proud to announce that currently Eatonville, I'm vice president of the criminal justice sector of all the municipalities. So a lot of information is being given, and we're proud to have Eatonville as a part of that, being in a top board spot. We're currently also involved in the nationalization of law enforcement executives, where I'm also the vice president for that. So we're getting those things we need to get that help. It's gonna be up. We are planning a collaboration. It will be something like an active shooter drill with municipalities, Meetin, Sheriff's Office. We'll be coming together and how we're gonna put all that together, fire department, and then how we're gonna come together and have that drill. So when that time comes, we'll let the town know how that's gonna happen. But you'll probably see a lot of cars coming in, We'll continue to do that so that you're aware of it. For your calendar dates, October 13th. October 13th will be our second annual National Night Out. That went very, very well last year. Appreciate all the support. Went really well. So we're gonna ask that each councilman, if you can, sometime in the calendar dates, please give the CEO and find out what day you can come and sit with me at the PD, so I can give you a more in-depth analog what our plans are. I think we'll be able to get a lot better to sit and just take our time and go through whatever your questions might be. But I will take questions tonight.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Chief, what is, thank you very much for the active shooter.
Yes, ma'am.
That's very much needed. I'd like to ask a question as to what is the crime rate here in Eatonville?
We're currently from year to date, last assessment, we're down like, over 25%. With numbers, so, actual numbers, I don't have it for me, but they're dramatic. The numbers.
And what's the highest, number one crime of the top, let's say that the top five, what is the highest
Domestic.
crime?
Domestic, yeah. Which is not uncommon sometimes, because it's the most unpredictable.
Okay, my last question is that how many staff employees that you have and how many vacancies you have?
At this moment, we have no vacancies. From the budget that we set, we're sitting at the right number. Have our reserve,
And what's your staff? How many on staff?
15 with me.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Well,
And that's including civilians too, correct?
yes, civilians are, we have, the positions of the record keeper, evidence protect, and, like code enforcement is on the rest as well. Yeah, that's what I was gonna speak on. Yeah. Has that been advertised yet? It has, and so we're gonna be ready to make a move here. By the end of the month, we should have somebody on staff. Okay. For code enforcement, right? All. For code enforcement. Oh, sir, yeah, that's right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, council and residents. Give you all a brief of the past 3 months that what we've been doing in the recreation department. First off, we have strengthened our relationship with the Life Cycle Bike Club. If you all are not aware,
Yes.
if y'all are not aware, the first Saturday of the month, we meet at Denton Johnson and take our tour through Eatonville and some of the surrounding areas for the bike ride. It's usually about, correct me if I'm wrong, about 6 miles.
Eight miles. Feel like 12.
So we're still open. We're taking members. All you need to do is have a regular can cook. That's it. And we have the tents and everything set out front. Excuse me. We have the tents and everything set out front and do our little stretches before we start the ride. Also too, with the youth, Eatonville Bobcats finished out the playoffs in February, which we had 2 of the 3 teams actually win the championship. So we're due to have their appreciation breakfast this weekend coming up, just so they for them winning the championship. Also too, we took some seniors to the Strawberry Festival in March. Also to the Seafood Fest too in March. Also, we're expanding our reach out to some of the new complexes as far as extending programs into Ecos, and we're going to go into West Kennedy Apartments and stuff like that to bring bingo to those residents that can't get out or just don't have a car or what have you. So we're doing that. Also, that's actually, we started that last month and with Ecos, and we have it actually tomorrow. We're going down there tomorrow to do that program with them as well, with their residents. This past weekend, also, we took some kids over to FAMU. From there.
Great FAMU.
For their STEM day out there, we took about 12 kids, and actually it was very productive, and they really liked it. So, we also have some other events, that's programs and stuff that's coming up here in the next few months. We have Wade in the Water. which is our senior group that come out, senior and adults group that come out on Wednesdays. And just wade in the water, like you said. Stuff like that. So y'all free to come out. That's from 9 to 11 every Wednesday. Coming in May. And other than that, we're just getting ready for our summer program and summer feeding with some Sunday socials coming in May as well. So that's it. Any questions?
I do have a question in terms of the summer program and what does it look like and how are the kids and the families notified in terms of what we have available this summer. And it may, I'm just putting this out here to you because you are speaking. And like gymnasium, and are we able to utilize the Boys and Girls Club, or what's going on with that? And do we need to go in and talk to them and try to negotiate or renegotiate a contract so that we can have usage of that gym space? That's just stuff off the top of my head because I'm definitely interested in making sure that our youth have something productive to be involved in this summer. So that is a top priority of mine to see like how and what can we do to make sure that they are involved and engaged. I was loaded, but now it's off my chest. You feel me?
Actually, with the Boys and Girls Clubs, that's a continuing partnership that I'm trying to strengthen as we move forward. They've made some changes over there. So as of now, they do not have a service director. So once that gets into place, then we should continue to talk about seeing how we can utilize the gym for, usage, even, in the mornings or in the afternoons, as far as strengthening that partnership. So now, as far as our summer
Yeah, help
program,
me.
Can I jump in with him right quick?
Jump in, help me.
We are planning throughout the summer program that the week we're talking about, we'll be busing kids to the Catalina area, but we'll do some basketball outside as well, some badminton, things like that in that process. So really.
Oh, okay, okay, thank you, because I know that's an area that, we gotta have some attention to, subdivision down in Catalina Park, because it's always been an ongoing issue in terms of those youth, but it's all over town, man. I'm just saying, because it was spring break, we just had it. And my hopes is that we know the summer come the same time every year, spring break, Christmas. You understand me, and I like to know and think that we're getting ahead of the game versus playing catch up and what we're gonna do. We just see too many kids on the street. We can't make them. I understand that. I do understand that, but I just wanna make sure that the families are getting proper notification as to what is available for their youth. That's my concern.
well, just like she said, the collaboration that, we're doing as far as busing the kids to and from Catalina Park is in the works. And then the town actually provides the food service for summer feeding,
Yeah.
but it's held at Hungerford through Orange County Public Schools.
Mhm.
So Chief and I even talked about sending a bus down there or a
Right.
van to pick up those kids to bring them down to get the feeding.
Right.
So as well, so.
Okay, and I don't know, I miss Mrs. Monday, I'm sorry, but in terms of, and you mentioned it too, Chief, the Catalina Park, I don't know about community room, substation, huddle, I'm not sure what we actually call in that particular building.
It's Pal Huddle House.
Pal Huddle House, okay, so in terms of the Pal Huddle House, when is that gonna actually be available for usage, and where are we in terms of that project completion? Come on up and help Darius. You ain't by yourself, man. You got a whole squad.
Right now, we have, the building will be enhanced tremendously. We have a deck system that the architect is designing right now because we had to address the handicap ramps to the building, but it's gonna be a very enlarged deck and it'll really enhance the look of the building with awnings. But we're going through the permitting process with the deck and everything, so we can't get it powered up until everything is clear with permitting. So we're still going through that process, but I expect in the next 2, 3 weeks, we'll have, some major progress.
Okay, so again, the summer's coming up and will we be able to utilize that? Do you think we'll be able to utilize that building, this summer? That's a yes.
Yes.
Okay, and also in terms of lighting for the parks, right? I was down at Calhoun Park the other day and, in lighting, is there a plan to get any lights at both Calhoun Park and over here at, the Gloria Ware's Park? Right? Are there any, expectations of getting any lighting out, at those parks? And when? We say, yeah, when? Right? Because this has been going on for years.
So,
And another thing that I was almost offended by the other day when I was at Calhoun Park, I know, Chief, we gotta get the people out of the park, but and it was just a first for me. I don't know about anybody else. But when we were getting the residents out of Calhoun Park, the way we get them out of the park is we turn on the sirens or the lights, and like that was like intimidating kind of to me, but I was down there just looking at the building. And so is that normal practice, or did I just run into a situation like that?
Well, generally, we ask the DJ, when he shuts the hard shutdown at whatever it was, 7 p.m., I think it was.
No, I'm not talking about an event. I'm talking about a regular day when you have the residents, down there at the
We
park.
have that problem when it gets, because they know dusk, we come down and we're sitting heavy at dusk.
Okay,
Generally, most of the people who go there all the time, they get in their cars and go and start pulling out of there.
okay.
They look like they're delaying, and we may get out and start walking around to
Yeah.
remind we need them to leave. But when you have an event where you're inviting people not from the town, you kind of have to put some sort of order out, because most of the residents already know the drill, but people who visit, they
No,
have to kind of.
I'm talking about it was last week Thursday on a regular day, they getting off, and then, I was just happened to be down there, taking a look at the public.
Right.
And there were some residents, and I guess they're accustomed to getting up and leaving. Some they did get in their car, but then they were met with these lights. And I know I haven't been down there in a while, and is that our normal procedure? Is that how we get them out of there? Like, that was kind of intimidating, but I guess for safety, maybe we gotta do it like we gotta do it. I'm just that.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had any kickback from it. I haven't seen anything that causes us to do it or not do it. But I'll go check with my night shift supervisor to find out.
Yeah, it was
whether
definitely done.
whether
It
there's
was,
something that happened, or there's something going on. I'll get into the gist of it. But
okay,
generally, they come out of there like they're supposed to normally.
yes, sir.
But definitely event time is when we definitely will have, that's going to happen. Because we just gotta make sure that visitors know. But I'll get with the day to day.
Okay, thank you so much, but like I said, it's just regular residents, and it was like, man, that's how y'all get, that's how you need a park. Feel the lights. That's crazy. I mean, you got the old heads down
Well,
there.
you know who Bloom is, so when they see Bloom turn out, they're not participating.
Okay, I got you. I understand. Anyway.
So Councilwoman, yeah, so Councilwoman, go ahead and get clarity, because we all about having clarity right now. There will be lights added on to the Powell Huddle House, but in reference to lights being put in Calendar Park, we would be premature to put lights up there right now with the whole redevelopment plan that's given to happen in Calendar. So that will be a part of the design phase that's coming up for the new $8 million with possible $8 million that's coming on top of it. So we would not go down and put lights down right now. It's
On the
premature.
basketball course, you're not gonna do that?
Well,
No.
now technically the park is closed currently at
At
dusk.
dusk.
Oh, so the.
So there really isn't a need for lighting, so to speak, for
Okay.
unless we're trying to host something.
But we are gonna add lights down there.
Yeah.
Why we can't play ball at night?
Well, what the sign say? That's what you gave, that's what was in place, dusk, from dawn to dusk.
But see, and I'm saying this because now you got the summer coming up, and I'm just thinking, like, but I'm old, and that's just kind of how we grew up. We played ball all day and all night, right? And I just don't understand, like, why we gotta just close the park at dusk or dawn, whichever one it
They're
is.
all to review, I guess, the council.
Right. I mean, so we're really taking a lot away from our residents in terms of how they're socializing. The summer is really coming, y'all.
So
Where we don't have any businesses where they can convene at, right? We just don't have it. So how are we gonna address these concerns, like what we gonna do? And we can't wait for 3 years to put some lights in the park. Waiting on the design. I'm sorry.
I'd love to meet you offline at my office. We can get somebody.
Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. Talk to me. Where's the money? Just show me the money and then I can help assist, what you like. And the lights at the Gloria Wares Park, like, that's something that's been talked about for probably 5 years now. I mean, I know everybody got quiet. But how many more years we gotta wait to get lights at a park, but if people wanna come and play tennis, or you understand me, or pickleball, or whatever it is, like, why are we like so far behind with this stuff? Right? Where's the money going? We've had money in these departments for years. It ain't for you, sir, I'm just talking now. But I do want somebody to help me. Maybe Mr. Daniels.
I take that on. So we actually been discussing this a lot lately. And it's been maintenance and wear and tear and stuff that we haven't kept up with. So we are addressing all those issues. And in my report, I will talk about later on. That's why we're doing an analysis of budgets and funding. And we gotta reallocate money. And I will be coming back to you all for approval.
About the facade grant, do we still have that available?
Not you. I appreciate you, man.
Facade grant?
Yeah, for the parks.
Appreciate you.
Facade was supposed to be already.
Summer program. We like the summer program.
I want to play some ball that night. Like, come on, I don't get over work or whatever. And like the night is 9 o'clock to me.
Yeah,
I might want to go out there.
the last one is Miss King, the clerk's office.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, and residents.
6 o'clock.
Briefly, I'll give you an overview of the clerk's office and what we have been doing in the last 90 days. What we do in the clerk's office is for the purpose of increasing capacity, enhancing productivity, ensuring quality service, customer service, as well as providing best practices for disseminating information and resources. What we have done in the clerk's office in light of projects that we're working on is our record retention project. We're looking to have that completed by the end of May, and we're about 60% at completion with our records. And then after we do our record retention, then we can do our disposition of records where we'll have file bank come in and take our records that we will be keeping and housing them at their facilities, and that'll become a part of our record mitigation plan. In addition to that, once we have completed our records retention project, we will be focusing on our standard operating procedures, which will also include record management plan, in addition to the emergency mitigation plan. So this year, I know over the last 3 years, we've been dealing more with the aesthetics of the building and these meetings, bringing in technology, making it digital. But this year, we're going to be focusing on the infrastructure of our personnel, as well as our policies and procedures and how we function and operate at the clerk's office. Great staff, Marissa, she's coming up on a year in May. And I really like to give her flowers because she's a very good worker. Many of the staff and some of the council believe that she is a clone of my office. So I take that as a good compliment.
Detail.
But I also will be bringing on, because of the extensive responsibility of the clerk's office, I will be bringing on another young lady this week, actually, in a volunteer role to kind of help us extend our efficiency in the clerk's office. And so in addition to those being our projects outside of our everyday responsibilities in the clerk's office, we do have a wish list. And a part of that wish list is to reclassify current staff to deputy clerk full-time. We need to function like other municipalities. Amen. With the adequate staff so that we can be as professional and efficient. And also want to look at bringing in a better quality microphone system here in the chambers. Wanted to do a reface and a resurface of the chambers. We need to look as good as other municipalities. So those are some of the things that's on our wish list. And just as a reminder, some of the things that the clerks have done is, y'all know I got my CMC.
Yay.
Working on my MCC.
Mhm.
So, also text my gov, someone mentioned about potholes. Potholes is a resource that the community can use to communicate issues in the community. They can text it and it will go to the proper department. And not only that, they can take pictures and video, send it to through the text my gov system. That is something that was implemented through the clerk's office. We do have our space planning for efficiency, alternate meeting spaces that has really expanded our workspace. We do have an information line, and then also public record access on the webpage. I think that's a big, huge upgrade to the town.
Thank you.
And of course, we have our election page and we have our agenda package online portal where you can view our agenda, our council package as well as video. And among other things, I won't belabor the time, but we're excited about what the clerk's office is doing. Our job and our goal again is to provide efficiency in services, professionalism, and response time in an expeditious manner. So thank you for your time. If there are any questions.
Thank you.
I just
Mrs.
thank
King.
you.
And so in terms of the public records, is that something that will assist our residents? Because every week we come up here and we have an issue with public records. And yes, I have, Mrs. Ford, I have gotten your request, but is there something that you from your office can help assist with that?
Yeah,
Just so, don't beat me up, Miss Ford, every week.
okay, I try not
You
to.
understand? I'm okay. I mean, I got thick skin and all that. You can
Well-
take it out the door, but. But anyway, but is there something that we can?
Yeah, we're a very strong advocate for public records. Yes, for one thing, it's a Florida statute and it's law. And it's a collaborative effort. It has to be a collaborative effort across all departments.
Okay.
And I will say, our CAO has been very adamant about our departments being responsive.
Yes.
We have much room to grow, but we've gotten better. With our next request, which is another online portal that we implemented in the clerk's office, it helps us to properly oversee and manage public records from the beginning to the end. So there's a system of accountability in there, so we know who are not responsible.
So really. Shortcuts. So what I think I'm hearing is that each department, if there's a request from a department, that they are responsible for the records, every department responsible for the record.
Right, the clerk's office is that conduit, is that gatekeeper
Okay.
for processing public records requests. But if the request requires records from a different department,
Yes.
they have to be responsible in getting that record closed out through our next request system.
Okay, and it's checks and balances.
It's checks and balances.
That happens, yeah. And then that's when a lot of things happen. Yeah.
And I believe once we get our standard SOPs in place, and we put our across departmental policies, and everybody are functioning based on them, I think it's gonna make it much better for us.
Is that all? We are ready for the approval. I'm sorry. We are ready for the approval of the consent agenda. Is there a motion?
Madam Mayor,
I'm sorry.
motion for the minutes that will be for March 17th, 2026. I just wanted it to be stated for the record.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded by,
Okay.
it's been moved and second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Consent agenda is approved. We will now hear about the scholarship program.
Well, the information is before you. This is something we do every year. We have $5,000 in our budget that underwrites the scholarship program I'm wanting to go public Monday, but I always bring it for the council so you can see the details of the program. If there's any changes you would like to see, what you see in your packet is what's going to be available to the public. The objective is to put it on the website, make it available at the front desk, and available by email at the request of those who are interested in the program. There are no changes from last year's program, and that's why I'm bringing it to you. If there's some changes you would like to see, we've had some successful scholarship programs in the past, but it all contingent for applicants. So if there are any questions, I can answer.
I do have one question. I know that there is a breakdown of percentage of support. What happens if there is only one applicant? Does the entire scholarship fund go to that one applicant, or?
That will be at the discretion of the council.
Say less. Thank you.
We've done it before.
Okay, any other questions about the scholarship? Okay.
So, with that being said, if there are no changes, I would like to, roll this program out starting Monday. I believe that's the 13th, making it available to the public.
Are there any objections from this council about the rolling out of this information as early as Monday of next week?
Is it to the public or to Eatonville?
There you go.
It's well.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
You have to be a resident in order to take advantage of the scholarship. But it will hold up.
If there are no other questions, I believe we are amenable to going ahead and rolling this out, Ms. King.
Thank you.
All right, we are now ready for council decisions. We will start with the approval of resolution 2026-18, appointing or confirming an individual to the TOCRA. Ms. King, can we start with the preamble?
Yes, resolution 2026-18, a resolution of the town council of the town of Eatonville, Florida, appointing individuals to the town of Eatonville Community Redevelopment Agency, TOCRA, provided for conflict, severability, and an effective date.
You have heard the preamble. Before we move forward with the motion, I know a appointment is necessary to fill into the blank. I'll start with the applicant that submitted their application first, which I believe is Miss Angela Johnson.
Yes.
That you have in your packet. I will entertain a motion to appoint Ms. Johnson to the town of Eatonville Community Redevelopment Agency. So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Councilman Mack, second by Councilwoman Randolph first. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Alright. We have our appointment to the CRA as Miss Angela Johnson. All right, the next item on the agenda is the authorizing the appointments of the vice mayor. And I will do that one the same way. I guess I will start on that one. Ms. King, the preamble, I'm sorry.
Yes, resolution 2026-17, a resolution of the town council of the town of Eatonville, Florida, authorizing the appointments of a vice mayor per section 2.04 of the town of Eatonville's charter, provided for conflict, severability, and an effective date.
Again, this resolution is set up the way the previous one was, with a name being necessary for the appointment. I will start again. I would like to appoint Councilwoman Angela Thomas as vice mayor. I will entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved in second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Right, we have our vice mayor.
Thank you.
The next item on the agenda is the approval of resolution 2026-20, designating a vice chairman to the town of Eatonville Community Redevelopment Agency. Ms. King, the preamble, please.
Yes, resolution 2026-20, a resolution of the town council of the town of Eatonville, Florida, designating a vice chairman of the town of Eatonville Community Redevelopment Agency, TOCRA, providing for conflict, severability, and an effective date.
All right, you have heard the preamble. I would like to insert, very much like I did with the chair appointment, that somewhat traditionally we have this council has previously agreed verbally that they would like to see the mayor and the vice mayor as the chair and the vice chair of the TOCRA. That being said, I will nominate Vice Mayor Thomas as the vice chair of the TOCRA. I will entertain a motion.
Second.
It's been moved and properly second. All in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
All opposed. We have our vice chair. All right, is that all?
Good.
Okay, we are ready for reports. We are ready for report. I will start with, I'm sorry.
Madam
Yes,
Mayor, we do need to consider a motion tonight outside of the agenda, being that Angela Johnson has been appointed to CRA. That opens up a vacancy on the planning and zoning, which we currently have two alternates. Alternate one and alternate two.
And I believe there is information relative to that in your packets tonight. It was a part of the consent agenda to verify those terms. If you need to reference who those members are, I believe alternate number one is Mr. Trevor Cobb. I am flipping through to it.
Yes, Trevor Cobb is alternate one and Jeffrey Parasol is alternate two.
So we just need a motion to appoint the first alternate to the open vacancy of that board.
Right, and the motion is for them to no longer be an alternate.
And to be a
but
permanent member
regular.
with a term that is determined by the resolution that was passed as a part of the consent agenda for
Right, the term will remain
three-year
the same. According to the resolution.
All right, I move that we appoint alternate number one, Mr. Trevor Cobb, as a permanent member of the Planning and Zoning Board for the appropriate term limits. It's been moved. Second. And second, all in favor of appointing Mr. Cobb as a permanent member of the Planning and Zoning Board, signify with aye. Aye. All opposed? Right, we have a new permanent member and we are left with one alternate on that board as well.
And I think Mr. Cobb is here tonight, so.
Good evening, Mr. Cobb. Thank you for joining us and welcome to the Planning and Zoning Board.
Thank you.
All right, now we are ready for reports. Mr. Daniels.
We've discussed a lot tonight, so I'm gonna make this very brief. We had department head meeting today. For this council to know, and mayor, if you have any needs of department heads, please drop that through myself and we'll use the EA to make sure those things are facilitated. Department heads were notified today that we need to be more clean, precise, we need to get more organized. So unless there's a deadline dealing with a grant or something like that, for the next 13 days, we're gonna take time to clean up the community. And we're gonna start by cleaning up our own office, our own policies and procedures. We're gonna get all the policies and procedures in. Because right now, as y'all discussing during a workshop, we got stuff that's all over the place, stuff that's not coinciding together. Because I think we've just been piecemealing stuff instead of collectively bringing it. So that deadline is April 20th. And if you have any questions, you can discuss with me. As you all noticed when y'all pulled up tonight, last week I made a directive that no public works vehicles in the parking lot no more. So if you didn't notice, a lot of empty spaces out there. All public works vehicles now are to be staged at the barn area. They're gonna be parking their cars over there. They're gonna be clocking in over there because at times we've seen that our public works have just taken over our parking lot and it wasn't conducive for other staff as well as visitors. So that is a new directive that's going forward right now. Finance department, she didn't mention it tonight. By next week, Monday or Tuesday, I believe, I told Faith, you all will be receiving a 6-month budget to actual. And this is significant because directors for the last month and a half, 2 months, I think I've been saying it. If they can't justify while money's in their budget, I'll help them justify it. So that's been my thing. I will help them justify it. No longer are we gonna be padding budgets and having stuff all over the place. We need to be more concise on everything. With what's going on in Tallahassee right now, which the conversation again came up yesterday about property taxes, we can't wait for something to happen. We gotta start now. So we have to be doing things right now to make sure that we are proactively looking at our budgets. And that's why I need to see what stuff is being charged and all those kind of different things. So we're actively working on that. Within the next month or so, I'll be coming back to this board on doing some necessary like personnel shifts or some things I think that can help facilitate accountability a lot more and make things more conducive. But I'm gonna need y'all approval to be able to shift things around to make sure that we got the right personnel in the right place, and we may have to make some more part-time positions. It's just a lot of things we're trying to leverage out. So that'll be coming to you all. Good news, the impact fee for the water and sewer, we should have a presentation. They told me by the first council meeting in May. So you ask why that's significant. Because the hunger for property, that deal, if it still moves forward and all that, is to happen in August, September. So if we can get it going through, we would reach our 90-day mark and impact fees will be in place. All right. I'm pushing more of a collaborative approach. We're here for our community and all that, but we got to have a collaborative approach. We got to be willing to work with nonprofits, work with other individuals to make sure the work is done. We don't have all the money in the world, but if we collaborate the right way and do things in decent and order, we can move this town a lot faster. So I'm asking for y'all support that we have a collaborative approach. In saying that, I'm also looking at special events. We are revamping our special events policies and procedures and all that kind of stuff because I think the town has been taken advantage of, and I'm at ends with it, and I'm tired of it. If people are coming to utilize our town, we need to be passing on fees to them. We shouldn't be taking on the brunt of this stuff. If someone is using town property, that means we need to have town staff there, and they need to pay it, not us. Because they're coming to our community to have an event, and it makes no sense for people to come and they make all the money and then we're stuck with a burden. We're not doing the right thing. Also, I'm looking at our fee schedules. And in looking at our fee schedule, preliminarily, with me looking at something I want to do, and I won't say out loud what it actually is all the way, but we can possibly, if we enter into something that Maitland and other municipalities are doing contractual wise, we can probably easily start off saving $60,000. Easy. And I'm gonna say kind of what it is. It's dealing with permits and all those kind of different things, and building officials and all those kind of things. We could easily be saving money. Right now, I think we're at a waste. This contract that we're under right now has been since 2018. Paying $400 a day, whether somebody do work or not. So I know we got some mathematicians in here. $400 a day times 5 days a week is $2,000. 2,000 times 52 weeks is $104,000. Not including any other stuff that may get done. And I don't think our fees are lining up with it. So we asked where are we gonna get the money from to do stuff? We got it. We just gotta take time to make things right. We got to make things right, y'all. We got to stop all this. I know we're talking about buddies and we love our community. If you really love me, help me save some money. help me help y'all do the right thing. And that's just what we got to just look at. And my last thing, there's other things, but enough has been said for tonight. On May 8th, they're asking for the council and the mayor to join Homes for Heroes. If you haven't noticed, there's a new house going up on Calhoun right now. From 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., it's going to be a big doo-wop, we'll call it. Y'all remember when they say move that bus?
Oh, yeah.
They're going to do something like move that bus. I think Chief is already a part of it. They want you all to be a part of it. It's gonna be a brand new house given to one of our own Eatonville residents, a free house. So they want you all to be a part of that at 9 a.m. Chief Dunn gonna lead the procession. It's gonna be a procession. It's gonna be politicians from other places, other people involved. But I'm gonna tell you the good news about a lot of stuff. We're starting to get more phone calls coming in of people that want to come in and help our community. But the only way that's gonna happen is we gotta be more willing to do the right thing and set the standard. And that's my report.
Thank you, Mr. L. Madam Clerk.
Yes, again, the Ruth and Whitney Scholarship, application will be available starting Monday, April 13th. And as of March 2026, the Historical Preservation Board is in compliance with the certified local government. And then I also want to let you all know that I will be on vacation. April the 20th through the 24th. But the clerk's office will be very well run. New warm machine.
So smile at that.
Definitely taller than you. I thought you knew one day.
That's my report.
Attorney Shepherd.
Yeah, not tonight, no, there's no help for you. I do want to answer the question that is often and frequently asked by, Member Mack, and that is, do I know of any new lawsuits? And the answer is
Mark that
no.
off right now.
But I do want to say this, without getting into the details, because it'll probably don't want to deal with it this time of night, but it has been stated in several emails that we are under imminent threat of a lawsuit based on what's going on the CRA side. I will leave it at that. I would suggest you make an inquiry of the folks on that side to see what they will say about it, because they have not shared that information other than say we're under threat of an imminent lawsuit. So I mentioned that to you, so you can't say I failed to mention it, but I don't know any more about it than what I just said.
Thank you, Attorney Shepherd.
Good evening, everyone. I have, two things. Okay, first of all, I have not received my budget report. I requested it several times. Still don't have it yet. If I can pick it up tomorrow, please. Okay, and, also I would like to know what funds or monies that the town owes to CRA. And if there's any funds the CRA owes the town. We need to know that, because what it is, this should all be about check and balances. I know we've had this thing whereas the town gets money from the CRA to help with this, and then the CRA gets money from the town, all this going backwards and forward. I think that needs to cease for accountability. We see what's going on in the other municipalities as far as not really balancing out the funds that are available to the municipalities. And I think we need to move forward and correct this. Anything that we get from the county should be appropriated to where it should go. And it should not be channeled through another agency and then channeled back to another agency.
I agree with you. There are some preliminary numbers out there, Councilwoman. And those have been some issues that I have been addressing, and it's not a new issue. It's like you said, it's been ongoing, and we'll get the information for you. And from the CRA side and from the town side, I've instructed that stuff needs to be ratified right away.
Okay, so the second half of this, and that is, whenever monies are due on either side, once those funds have been extracted from those funds, does it leave that particular agency that extract the funds in a very poor financial condition that they will not be able to operate or run into some high risk as far as stabilization of their agency? So either side.
So Councilwoman, what I will say is, until I get all of those numbers, there could be a possibility, and that's why I would say on the town side, as of today, when I told everybody I want to really get a grip on what's going on. In essence, not officially put a freeze, but everything is coming by my desk. On the town side, anything that's going out that's over $1,000 has to have my signature on it. And I'm also putting other protocols in place to ensure that those are things. So check ledgers and all those kind of things. That's why I need to see the budgets to actuals for the last 6 months. Because if an account is over right now, I need to know now. I can't wait till budget cycle go to come to say, wait a minute, how did this happen? If we wait 6 months, we could be in trouble. And that's why it's important right now, because of what's going on in other municipalities. They know now I'm starting to look at all the credit cards. So I'm actually looking at, okay, if a credit card receipt is missing, if it's one of y'all, if it's me, like I told them, we'll shut a card off and I'm not going to jail for nobody because the Federal Sheriff can't represent me. So I'm going to ensure that that information is there, whether it's gas card or credit card. We're going to make sure the right things are done. And if we discover something, then we'll handle it accordingly. It's not a witch hunt, but it's accountability.
Can you get back with me on those to see, because I'd like to know if we have any funds that are on one side. I need to know. I would like to know that.
I have a rough estimate right now that of some numbers that's been said, and you want me to say it, I will, but
If you can get those to her,
okay,
yeah. Do house business,
okay,
Please make sure she gets that.
I got you.
And Mayor, make sure I get my budget.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Councilwoman.
Well, everyone will get the budget because I think transparency, and I told the finance department.
Just for 3
I'm
months.
asking as
And
well.
I have not been able to get what I asked for. And, no harm or anything, I love you, okay? But when it comes down to the council, what people don't understand is that this is my work. I've been without a computer, access to the website, everything ever since the election has been over. And I came in here and basically turned in my information, my card, my computer, my laptop and everything. I can't get access to anything. I don't even know what's going on. I have missed information and I have a whole list of things that I'm now backhauled because I don't have access to these things. That is my work.
And
that should have been handled in an urgent manner as an elected official.
well, and I said, Councilwoman, and I publicly said, I will take, because it stops for me, I will take that. But then what I also would say on the same note is the town has been ran in a way that there has been no access accountability. So you got one person that's doing all the stuff instead of us utilizing a company for IT purposes. So we're paying for what we get. So if y'all are willing, I'm willing to make those changes to make sure that we put all protocols and safety nets in place. But I'm gonna need that assurance from you all that y'all gonna work along with me to get that done. I'm ready to move right now. That we need to have a company because that individual that we're referring to has been on vacation for the last 2-3 weeks.
Right.
And I had to interrupt vacation, so I had to take days back because that's the right thing to do. So I apologize for that. And I've told Ms. Gibson, I see she just came in here a second ago, but y'all financial reports need to be to y'all by the second, and Ms. Gibson is standing there, by the second council meeting of the next month, you all should have financial reports. There's no exception. I'm also gonna be coming back to y'all with a resolution to allow myself to be able to be on the bank account. I won't be signing checks, but I want to be on the bank account so I can be able to access run reports and all that and don't have to wait for stuff.
You have my support on that, Councilwoman.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
Is that all for your report? Do you have one?
Thank you. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Thompson.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
Thank you all. I really do appreciate that. And it is an honor to be put into that position. I do have just one or two things. One is, what are we doing for Founder's Day in Juneteenth? Where are we at on that? You don't have to answer now, just later. But next week, I would like for us to start working with the Zora Fest so that we don't have to wait till the last minute. We can start now, letting her know what we as council and resident expect from the Zora Fest and no last minute details. And also to, since the council can't talk to each other, is it possible for us to get a retreat so that we can get together and talk about what we like, what we don't like, what we want with the town, and how we can work as a group together and not everybody have their own opinion, but work as a group together and remember the oath that we took, that we said we're gonna do what's best for the town of Eaton.
I concur. Okay, so the answer is yes, you can do a retreat as long as the retreat is here
Fine.
or Denton Jones.
Johnson.
Johnson.
Johnson. And the reason is it has to be in the jurisdiction, it has to be the same kind of accessibility you have at a regular council meeting, and it has to be noticed, and minutes have to be kept. What doesn't have to happen, as long as you don't make decisions, and it's also true, by the way, with workshop, is you don't have to have a public period. You can choose to. The key to a public period is it has to happen before decisions are made. So as long as you're talking about long-term planning or so forth and so on, and not deciding to do anything in specific, you can do it without a public period. But you can also have a public period and, you know, at the end, the middle, the beginning, whatever you want to, that's up to you guys. But I do think that these tip sessions can be helpful, but sadly, because when I was asked this early on when I came here was, can we go downtown to a hotel? And the answer is no. So that's where we are.
I got no problems planning that. Y'all just give me some ideas of when. 1 day, 2 days. Y'all start on Friday, or Friday, Saturday, or all day on Saturday. Y'all let me know.
1 day. 1 day.
1 day on a Saturday, and let's go from maybe 8 in the morning to
9.
Second that motion.
so on a 9 o'clock, maybe like a 9 to 5, and then we'll set up an agenda. We'll get all that stuff. So we'll schedule with y'all. Turn it into some new words, not to say when I'm asking y'all certain things. So we'll schedule some time to find out when it's good for y'all.
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Councilman Back.
You go first, doing that. Anyway, listen, good evening, everybody. I really appreciate everybody coming out, being engaged in town business. I think it's important that we get out here and, you know, stay engaged, man, what's going on. Top of my list, my condolences to anybody that have suffered any loss, whether it's in your family, friends, or in the surrounding areas, man. I know we've been losing people at a rapid rate, so I definitely be praying for the people that have lost anybody. Also, you ain't got to answer now, but host dime. I just want to know the status and what date that they're going to be in completion of that particular project also. And what is the status of the water rate? I know we spoke about that. You don't have to answer it right now. It's just something that I wanted to put out there while you can kind of brainstorm about it in terms of the water rate for the citizens, whether we do a credit form or which would probably be the best ideal thing to do. But I think we definitely need to address that sooner than later. And then also the status with the, and I know you spoke about this, and I'm kind of bringing it up again because I know how important it is and how significant it's going to be for our community in terms of the water and sewer impact fees. So we definitely got to make sure that we're jumping on that sooner than later. I know you said May 1st or 8th, something like that.
Around the 1st of May.
Yeah, that we're gonna be tackling that, so that music to my ears also. And also, despite I'm not gonna be here, I'll be actually in North Carolina, enjoying my son play spring football. Football is here just that quick, but the April Fool's Day. I know we had a great time last year. She pushed me in the pool, man, pushed me in the pool. But now I look forward to the kids coming out, having an enjoyable time, getting an opportunity to educate themselves on swimming, because I know how important that is, especially with people that look like me, not being able to swim on this, like over 54% of, you know, people that in America that of color that can't swim, and that's an alarming rate. So we definitely need to fix that matter, and definitely going into the summer time, I know kids are gonna want to go out there and actually get in the pool, and I know we had some issues with kids jumping the fence. We want to make sure that we're being proactive about everything that we do to make sure that we're protecting the safety of not just the kids but anybody that will want to jump in that pool. And
Also, it was a great event, on this past Saturday with Julian Johnson doing the 1887 first. I always get a, thrill out going out there, man, just seeing the people, unite and just have a good time. It's always a positive vibe. It's never been any static in terms of my attendance there, and I got a great appreciation of that. And that goes with without saying the chief and his police staff with the great job that y'all do, man, and making sure that we're protected at all times. So kudos to y'all, man, for everything that y'all do to make sure that we're safe at all times. And also great job, all the employees, man. I know you guys don't hear it enough, but we're gonna hold your feet to the fire, right? But I know there's no us without you. You guys make this thing operate. I got a great appreciation for every director, every employee, for what y'all do on a daily basis. I know your job is not easy, you know what I'm saying? But I just want to make sure that I'm giving y'all the appreciation that y'all deserve. And just keep doing your duties, man, and the diligence and being the employers that we expect you to be. So kudos to y'all as well. Um, Also, the Light Silk Club. It was a very eventful weekend this past weekend, to say the least. I can't state enough how important Stanleys are to the community. I know a lot of times, I know y'all probably see them in the meetings, but man, they are so terrific, man. And just we had over 60 people there, I think, right? At this last ride. And yeah, man, you missed it. And listen, hey, listen, kudos to y'all, man. I appreciate everything that y'all bring to us town. Thank you for your leadership. Everything that you bring us also, and then what Chief, you and your police staff escorting us because y'all ain't gotta do it, but we got a great appreciation for that, man. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And all fairness, listen, congratulations to all the appointed positions tonight. I know we had planning and zoning. Congratulations, Mr. Cobb, on getting that seat filled for us. We got a great appreciation for that. Thanks for Angela Johnson being selected to serve under the capacity of CRA. I know she'll do a tremendous job. Her wealth of knowledge, her background, having an MBA and just, understanding the concept of how, government work and how to concept everything in terms of just bringing that knowledge to the board of CRA, man. So congratulations to her, and then especially congratulations to the vice mayor Angela Thomas. Thank you. I think you're very deserving of. I know you saw it before in this capacity. I trust you sitting in that seat. I trust the mayor sitting in that seat, and I trust everybody that's sitting up here with me, being the only male sitting up here. I ain't gonna say that. No, but on a serious note, no, listen, I appreciate you ladies. I know we just had International Women's Month last month, man, but every month is International Women's Month for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I got great appreciation for y'all and what y'all do. Women, I always said, are the strongest species in this world, man. Y'all way stronger than we'll ever be. So kudos to y'all for everybody that got appointed. And if all minds and hearts are clear, that's my report. Y'all have a blessed night. Should have let you went first.
I'm good. You pretty much covered everything, but thank you guys for coming out. That's really what I have to say. Attorney Shepherd, I really do appreciate you and the clarification in terms of where we are, the whole CRA ordeal. And also I want to know, because I don't want to, like this week, all these emails in terms of what directive are we gonna go with this thing with our executive director? All right. So I don't know if that means that the attorneys get together or we're gonna go with, because I clearly heard what Mr. Shepherd said, and we have another CRA meeting. I really want this to be like done one way or the other, whichever way we go, whatever we doing. Right, because this cannot take up all of our time every single meeting that we come in here with. So hopefully, I need some guidance and some direction from the mayor of what we're gonna do. Period. All right. So that's the one thing that is of concern of mine. And also, I know we have the lawsuit or litigation with the Huntsville property and PEC. Is there any update Mr. Daniels in terms of, Dr. Phillips, is everything halted? Where we are, what we're doing. I did get the email that we do have and hung for the advisory committee with them. So where are we at with that? I know we haven't heard anything since they came here to our last meeting, which was a month or two ago. I hope that we can be more informed and not have this long span of time that we don't hear anything. All right, so hopefully we can shore up that relationship. That would make me very, very happy, and I think that should be an ongoing update in terms of what's going on with that property, what's happening. Because I'm feeling like a stepchild. And I know when they did come here and they said that they wanted to have this partnership, right, that they were gonna be respectful of this board. Part of me not feeling that way. Okay, and I hope we can do better in terms of that, our relationship. That's something else, something.
You want me to answer that right now, Councilwoman?
Yeah, well, it's kind of, hey.
Just real quick.
Okay,
So
okay, to that.
just real quick, Councilwoman, as we discussed before, they weren't coming back to after the election time was filled and position was filled with the fifth seat. Now they are scheduled to come in the month of May to come in and talk, and they're going to talk collectively. They also have stated, in reference to the lawsuit, they're not named in the lawsuit that I know of, Attorney Shepherd, when you read it either, right? It's PUC against
They can't
OCPS.
violate sunshine law only the school board can.
Right. So they're willing to still come in and talk and all that, and it's up. So we can go ahead and get them on the agenda to come in, and you all can tell me what you all want me to have them come in and talk about or address, and then go from there.
Well, we need to have like, what is going on? I understand that we don't have anybody, and not that the council should be at the table. But I didn't even realize how they were going to choose the board, and we didn't have any input. I guess it's not for us to, but I don't like how it's making me feel. Right, like if we just don't know anything. So we like in the dark and it's our property. So that's my concern. Who is going to inform us of what the heck is going on? And do we need to form our own advisory committee on this side? So when they determine what they're gonna do, we'll have our own advisory board that we can maybe, speak to and see if we're okay with what they're coming up with. It has to be something, that we can do versus just sit back here and feel like, we just getting whatever we get.
I would agree with that one, because I thought when they did come up, they said that they're gonna work with us and we're gonna help form this board. So at what point are we gonna get together to form this board that is gonna represent both Eatonville and Dr. Phillips?
That has already been formed.
No, it should not have been formed because they said they were gonna work with us. And if you've already got your board together, you didn't come to us, the council, to let us know how that was gonna be done. So that's my only question. How was it formed? And at what point are you working with the council? Is it well, it looked like it's after the fact. So and if they're gonna be open and honest, and like they said, then that's what needs to be done. I see you, Ms. Joyce. But at what point are they working with us to form this board, and what will be the qualifications for the people that's gonna be on this board?
And also, if they're not gonna be true to their word, which thus far they have not been, maybe we need to partner and join hips with PC and see what we need to do and get us some outside counsel and see how we, if there's something that in turn that we can see what's going on too. Because right now, and we haven't even gotten to step one. And we already being disrespected, right? And that's based on what I heard the young man say here when he came for that first presentation. So that is a big concern of mine. So thank you for that. So that's what I am. I want some clarification on what we're gonna do with this whole CRA thing, so we can get done with that. And that's my report, I think. Thank you all so much. I'm sorry.
I'll make a comment, Ms. Wilson.
Go ahead.
Councilwoman, both our councilwomen, you know what, that is kind of unique. Oh,
You can call me council. Revise our charter, why we could just say commission.
Yeah.
And that's what I need to do.
I agree with what was said about this. Dr. Phillips, they have not really been, speaking truth for what they say that they were going to do. And I do remember that they did say that we would work on this together. When I had asked before about the qualifications or the requirements to be on the board, they said that we will work on that. But that has not been, so they have not really been transparent as much as they want us to believe that they have been transparent. I do have concerns about the Southern Property Law Center lawsuit, because here on the town, we have been shorted in this whole process. We know that we don't own the property, but according to what was said and what was done, it was done behind our backs and we did not know. So at some point, we need to find out here from the council, from this council here, what is our next step and where are we going to go? Because I would hate for Southern Property Law Center to be in this lawsuit by themselves. And we're sitting back here as a municipality and as a board and not doing anything or contribute to anything on our behalf as a town. So I think this needs to be something that needs to be addressed. And if we need to seek the counseling of someone in the legal field, litigations that we need to move forward from the town, that's where we need to go. Because the way I'm looking at it right now is Dr. Phillips is not our friend. Okay, they are not our friend. No matter what anybody says, I know we have some advocates out here that's being very impartial about this, but they are not our friends. They did not show us that they were our friends. They're here to take advantage, and that's what makes me upset. Take advantage of the town and us because they think that we are dumb, stupid, don't know nothing, and we are dumb. A bunch of dumb black people. And we need to show them we are not what they think we are. So we need to get on board. They are not your friend, okay? Take my word. You will see it as time goes on.
So what are we gonna do?
So what I'm hearing from you all is kind of as a directive, you all want me to get with Attorney Shepherd and come up with a game plan or analysis of this whole lawsuit and what's the next step? Is that what I'm hearing collectively?
I think the board, we need to we need to see what we can do. Because see, there are some things that Mr. Shepherd, I don't know all the whole story, but I have a feeling that he didn't really push as much as he should have for the board, for this town. I'm not too sure. I know you had said that you got left out with some things and they were not telling you this and that and the other. That was wrong too. But I think we could have got a little bit more push behind this than what we received. We should not have walked away from that meeting on September the 30th in the manner that we left, to be disgraced and disrespected by these people.
The people spoke.
And you don't have a council member or anybody there that's going to speak up on behalf of us in the town, who's going to do it for you? I don't care if you like me or you don't like me. I have a right to speak up as to my position. You got your position and I have mine. And I'm going to share what I think in the manner that we should go. But it's going to be the majority of this board is going to determine where we go and who's going to take us there.
So
Thank you.
So for clarity, and I guess I have to say this out loud for the audience and everybody. I take direction from the mayor, but if y'all collectively tell me something, then I can do it. If not, I'm taking the direction. So I need to know what are y'all saying right now, y'all would like for me to do?
So what do you want us to do, Councilwoman?
We, as a council, we need to discuss what you wanna do. You wanna move forward or you don't?
Move forward with what?
But whatever you all feel that is appropriate for us to move forward to address this issue that we've had other than the September 30th meetings to the school board.
So is this something you all want to say tonight, or do we all want to sit there and take time?
Let them think about it and we come
That's
back.
okay, and then we can workshop it on the next meeting or whatever.
I think you should get the necessary information to the necessary parties and then we can bring this back, but we're in reports.
Okay.
Sounds.
That gives everybody an opportunity to get their minds wrapped around how they feel and what the facts are. And then to make their requests known. I'm completely amenable to this board having a collective conversation. It does not have to stop with me. I am all about collaboration, especially with this board, especially with the way that we got to this point. I know that this council felt left out. And so I'm committed to collaborating with this council in a unified front. But we won't be individualized. So we should take some time, figure out the facts of what's actually happening, internalize that, and then bring our concerns to the CAO, at which time we can potentially schedule some time to discuss what options we have moving forward, because we need to know the options as well, because frivolous claims and frivolous wish lists mean nothing if you have no standing. So we need to make sure that we understand the facts before making any movements as a community. Because we represent the whole community. We don't represent one opinion or one voice. We represent an entire community. And that's our responsibility as service people.
And man, on that point, just let you all know, I was approached by media. The man was approached by media and no comment went out because we don't know what all's been said. And I think that's only fair. And I told the media person that they called me, I think, 4 times within an hour and a half for interviews. Then they wanted to contact you all, but that wasn't fair. Because then we would be in the same notion that we've been in before, that someone was out saying whatever without the collective body saying what it actually.
But I think that's strictly opinionation when it comes to me as an individual, because that's my determination if I want to speak to media or not. Can't nobody up here tell me I can't.
That's true, Councilman, but and I'll be honest, they actually they want to just talk to
I
the
haven't
man.
had anyone speak, approach me, but I won't say that I won't speak to them. It just depends, you know what I'm saying? And I don't want to, I know it's an open lawsuit and, of course, I'm like mayor, I want to make sure that we're getting, all the logistics and getting everything lined up and making sure we're corresponding with what we need to correspond with before making that approach, because we don't want to put ourselves in a situation either. So I think we definitely need to talk to the appropriate people.
And just a suggestion, with all the stuff we got going on, y'all, and I'll bring it back to you. I think we need to consult with having a PAO forum, somebody come for the town so we can make sure that we are saying the right things and all that, instead of everybody just out just jumping in front of a.
I don't think anybody's gonna do anything like that. I think we've been sitting up here long enough to know, especially being grown people. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got some sort of intellect to not do something that's gonna incriminate yourself in terms of speaking to the media in a way that you shouldn't be speaking to them. You know what I'm saying? So I that's a little below what I would suggest anybody would be trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Especially me sitting up here 10 years. I know I'm subject to speak my voice on things, but I would never put myself in a detrimental spot to ever hurt myself or this town, especially with the integrity we're holding in this town.
But the only reason I said that, Councilman, is because we're saying stuff. If you don't have all the facts and you just going off of what someone tells you and you speak out of turn, you can put us into another realm.
It's no different than they want to question me or have an interview with me about anything, whether how you tie shoes or something. I can do that if I want to. But like I said, though, at the end of the day, I think we're all having this great concern about what's really going on, because it still doesn't say. I'm like Councilwoman Randolph. I done lost a lot of sleep, man, because of this matter across the street here with this Hunterford property, because I don't like the way it was done. I don't like the whole totality on how it ended either. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it wasn't fair to us as council members, because we had a 4-1 vote to go to OCPS and they disregarded anything that we had to say, anything. And I didn't think it was fair. I think it was flat out disrespectful. They didn't have no, they didn't have no regards. That's just my opinion. Not that I don't respect them. I respect them. You know what I'm saying? Because, I know they got a tough job to do too, but they didn't listen to what we had to say and they silenced us. And that's what we've been dealing with for a long time in Eatonville. These 15 years with this property, silencing us and thinking that they can tell us and dictate on what we need in our community. Can't nobody better dictate than us, the citizens. That's why we had great engagement with the citizens on what we need. But the things that they're proposing, I'm not in favor of, especially from a lot of different reasons of not bringing a tax base that is going to make sense either. So we got to make sure that we're, down our I's and crossing our T's. And I don't have a gripe with Dr. Phillips Foundation, but my gripe is with the former mayor and how she did it. That's just my opinion about it. OCPS, they did what they felt like they had to do. I'm not in agreement with what they did, but I felt like if you the mayor, you shouldn't be consulting things behind our backs and thinking that we're gonna be okay with it. And yelling kumbaya and all this here at the end of the day, no, I'm not in agreement with what you did. I'm not. And I'm gonna stand fast to that until we get some clarification on what's really gonna be had. You know what I'm saying? We got people fighting for us still. It's evident because it's a lawsuit pending. You know what I'm saying? But neither here nor there, that's my spiel on it.
I know you was going, but this is something I want to say. Regardless of what is going on with the school board property and the oath we took, you never let a situation get the best of you. And at the rate that we're going now, we keep talking about what this, what's that. You got to find a way to make it better and get the best of the situation. So we're going to continue to talk about what this one done, what that one done. We're not working towards doing what's best for Eatonville. So let's work towards that. So don't let this situation get the best of us. Let's find a way to get the best of the situation or work with it. Is that all? Yes, it is, I promise.
We got things to say. Some will be echoed, but they are necessary to be heard. I would also like to send out condolences to any families or neighbors in the community that have lost someone recently. Our hearts are definitely and our prayers are with you all. April Fool's Day is this weekend. Councilman Mack is lying when he says I put you in. We dove in together collectively with a consensus. I will miss you this weekend. I know the rest of the council people are reserved when it comes to engaging and diving in. I invite you all to dive in. I think Danielle does an amazing job with what she has going on at the pool for our youth, for our seniors, for us big kids. I think we moved all the kids out the way so that we could dive in.
Exactly. I got straight up in the process.
So a great time and a great cause. It is Saturday from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. I believe they are still looking for and accepting volunteers for that event. So please check out the flyer that is in the lobby. There's a QR code on there for more information as well as contact in case you are interested in participating. Also this weekend is the 18th Annual Health and Wellness Fair hosted by Macedonia. They do an amazing job every year, free health screenings, bunch of vendors, resources, food, prizes, a lot of information that's available. Great event that they have going on down there. That will be 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. They kind of overlap, but you can go to one and then slide right around the corner and go to the other.
Pressure check and jump in the pool.
Yes, let's do it all. Council, tonight you had at the diocese a packet from the library. I'd like to give a shout out to the library. Miss Sarah Brown, the manager over at the Eatonville Library, is amazing with bringing resources to this community. And then I'd like to also give a special shout out to Miss Sharonda Thomas, who personally came by to make sure that we got some goodies and some flyers in there. Y'all make sure y'all check them out. There are so many resources over at the library, more than books, more than internet, more than Zora, social work and passport information and supervisor election information. There is so much over there. just go in and check it out. A lot of stuff that we can disseminate to the community or make sure that the community is aware is available to them. I also would like an update on host time. Maybe that's something we can get out to the entire council to ensure that everyone is up to date on what's happening with that. Last I remember, they were slated to open back in December. I have not received any new information. I would love to know what's happening over there. And then again, I'm all about collaboration. So if there is something that we can do to assist them in getting up and running, please let us know. Catalina Park, I was there this weekend for the Easter egg event. Big shout out to Mr. Silas. They do an amazing job every year. This was the first year I couldn't go as a resident. It was a totally different experience. Thank you, Chief. But I had an amazing time. The individuals that host that event are always adamant about no riffraff. The community really bands together between 2 and 7 to ensure that we have an amazing time, that we're safe, that it's full of fun, full of community. It was basically a huge block party. It was such a good time. I do hope it's cleaned up. Mr. Stylist told me Tuesday, so it's Tuesday. So I hope they got it cleaned up over there. But amazing event. But while I was there, I did talk to a number of residents who brought forward some concerns, and I know speed bumps was one of those. I know this is probably a conversation for Ms. Mundy, so if we can check out what's going on or what isn't going on in Catalina Park with speed bumps, I would like an update on that, please. Life cycle, Stanley's, this community loves y'all. What y'all do in this community is worth noting. It's not just about riding bikes. It's about bonding. It's about health. It's about wellness. And y'all have really put that task on your back, and you've been consistent with it. And I think it's worth acknowledging. I personally am grateful. I ain't making it on Saturday because I've been busy the last 2 weeks. I was a little tired. I did want to go, but I'm committed to joining you guys in May. I look forward to it. And it's always a great time. That new route, that's all I'm saying.
Hey, boy, that thing
That's all I'm gonna say.
brutal.
And I think I know we gave a shout out to PD who accompanies us on those bike rides, but I think we need to give a shout out to Miss Rents. Thank you to the Department of Recreation and to Miss Rents, who is our ambassador, our personal escort. Sometimes when PD is late, Miss Rents is on time, but super shout out to Miss Rents for always showing up. And Miss Cordelia too, who has taken on such a leadership role with that organization and giving us those instructions in the mornings, making sure that we know what we need to know so that we can stay safe. So huge shout out to you and your organization and what y'all are doing. Please keep up the good work. Mr. Daniels, we did briefly mention special events. I would like to know, and of course, this is clearly something that will come back before this board. Is there special events staff in administration right now? That's a question you can answer.
No,
Okay, so is it volunteer basis right now?
pretty much volunteer or we have to pull someone. So that'll be one of the changes and shifting that I want to do coming up.
Okay.
Staffing.
I'm asking because I've been approached by members of the community about how they can participate and who to talk to when it comes to special events. So if there is a point of contact or if there is a job description, whatever that looks like, please let me know. I want to give a happy belated birthday shout out, a happy heavenly belated birthday shout out to former First Lady Mount. We just acknowledged her yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. One of my personal favorites, full of personality, full of love for this community. We miss her dearly. We lost her right before I lost my mother. So it is always a pleasure to be able to acknowledge the people who had such an impact on this community. And she is definitely one of them. Happy heavenly belated birthday, First Lady Mount. I'm almost done. Tonight is my first regular council meeting. We have had 40 meetings between March 17th and tonight is our first council meeting, a regular council meeting as a full board. And so I am excited about that. I am excited about the work that we're gonna do. Like CAO said, there have been a lot of calls that have been coming in, at least on my end, about people who are excited about this administration and the work that we're about to embark upon. We're at such a crossroads in this community, and what we do now will affect this community for another 100 years, 139. If we're just gonna double up on where we are now, this will affect us for another 139 years. So very much to your point, Vice Mayor, we do need to be intentional. We do need to be strategic about the decisions that we're making. We need to be cognizant of time. We need to be paying attention, not just to the local level, but to the county, to the state, to the federal levels about what's going on and how those things directly impact this community, because the decisions that we make today will affect us 5 generations from now. I also will, if we can, I'm hearing you, Councilwoman, about wanting to just know where we stand between the CRA and the town of Eatonville. So if it is amenable to this board, and I think we also need to be cognizant of the 2 citizen and the 2 appointed members to see if we can potentially schedule a special session. We do have a CRA meeting next Thursday, so if a special session is not amenable prior to that, then of course, this is something that can be addressed appropriately in the appropriate venue. And then of course, once we schedule, schedule for that, we can communicate that information to the board, just to make sure that we are all in line with that. That being said, I want to end with this. And this is the first meeting, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get it out the way. I take much pride in my name. I have said before that a good name is rather to be chosen than riches. And for somebody like me, that means a lot. I can't speak for any other commissioner, council member, director. But I take great pride in the integrity that is attached to my name. And I'm saying that tonight because I have been accosted, I've been harassed, I have been bullied, I have been lied on, and I have been flat out ignored when it comes to the operations of this town. And as we heard earlier, everything that happens in this town falls back on me. And you can't smile a bunch of stuff away. Some stuff you have to take on the chin, and I'm willing to do that. 180 people supported me in this. And so I owe it to them to make sure that not just my face, but this entire council's face stays clean. I don't appreciate being overlooked. If there's a question about an action that I took, then it can be directed at me. It can be directed at me. To say in any form of public record that I stepped outside of my authority as chairwoman or as mayor is incorrect. And if anyone needs to know, except this board, we can't talk when we leave. If anyone needs to know what actions I took, they can ask me. But to make allegations that are false, to make claims that are untrue, is not only unprofessional, but it will not be tolerated. I have never stepped outside of my authority, and I need this board to know that. I just sat up here and told y'all that I'm here to collaborate. I'm not here to even if the buck stops here, y'all are a part of that dollar. Y'all are a part of that dollar. So I'm not making any moves outside of my authority without convening with you guys first, which is why I'm appreciative of you appearing and presenting tonight, Attorney Shepherd. All of us need to be made aware of the same information.
We appreciate that.
And that's my commitment. And you can hold my feet to the fire about that.
Hey,
I know you're gonna do that. I know you're gonna do it.
I know you're turning a new leaf, and that's what.
And so we're standing on that, but I do not appreciate being spoken on incorrectly. And again, I am so accessible, probably to the point where PD does not appreciate it. You can come to me with almost anything, and I will be glad to have a conversation. I am not interested in stopping any progress in this town. I am not interested in isolating or alienating any individuals, any employees, any volunteers, any residents in any capacity. I've always been approachable and I will stay approachable so long as you can be respectful about it. I have made concessions. I have made alternatives available. I have instructed staff to collaborate, and that is what is true. That is what we have record of. So I do not appreciate in the first 14 days being lied on. I have some family members that will tell you that you cannot get to the truth without Ruth. Without Ruth, the truth is just some tea. And I'm not serving any of that. We will stand on facts. And we will consider feelings because we are human, but we will operate under facts. And that needs to be understood. That being said, Councilwoman Randolph, I do hear your concerns that that Dr. Phillips may not have been as cooperative or collaborative as they have agreed to be. I normally come with the book, the scripture, the verse, the chapter. I do not remember verbatim exactly what was said. If we can get receipts on that, what was the promise? I'm sure there are minutes for it. What was the promise? So that when we do approach them, we approach them correctly. If we misheard or if we misinterpreted, let's give them an opportunity to make it right. I heard you say that they wanted to wait until after the election. The election is officially over. We do have a full board up here tonight. So now is a prime time to invite them in to come give us an update and to keep us in the loop. I would like to say that I did see a press release that that spoke about the board being created. So to my knowledge, there is a board. I do not remember that coming back before council, but again, I do not remember the exact verbiage that was stated on how that would go. So for the sake of operating in facts, let's see if we can get some confirmation on that. And some regular updates. If we can, when we do sit down with them, when they do come by, if we can, agree to a schedule of updates. I think that might appease some of our anxieties, some of our in the dark, some of our need to know. And I think that will forge a good way to go forward. I'm also in the headspace of the milk is spilled. Let's clean it up. Let's move forward. And let's make sure that with whatever limits that we've been given, we go get whatever sugar and water we need to make lemonade. Because again, the decisions that we make today will affect generations, 5 generations from now. And if you don't think that that's true, ask Joseph Clark why I'm sitting here today. That being said, that is my report. I move for adjournment. I'm sorry.
Just wanted to let you know for the record, we do have the statement of revenue and expenditures available for the council.
All right, 1 out of 2 for Ms. Randolph. All right. All right, that being said, I move for adjournment. It's been moved in second, all in favor of adjourning, say aye. We are, it is 9:56, we are adjourned. He's done.
There, young folks.
You can run it back one more time. No, don't take me in. Next one. I want to talk to
Congratulations, Mr. Coleman. Both drinks. This is Paul. No, I ain't gonna do that. That's really going. Play cheap.
I was coming to that. I ain't got that's fine. It's like
Congratulations, Mr. Sean.
Thank you. Brian.